Now in this position, black can consider knight to e7 and then he can push d5, trying to control this center, but instead Bobby decides to directly go for d5. A good move by Spassky, supporting the d5 pawn. And that's a mistake by Fischer, allowing white to play bishop to g4, and in the next move white is threatening to capture this knight so that it can open the center. Instead of h4, here black must consider the move rook to c8, which controls the c file. This is because suppose if white decides to develop his knight to c3, now black can play this amazing move b5, trying to break this pawn structure, and if it takes, then after takes, now white can consider the move rook at a goes to d1, which attacks this bishop, but it can be easily defended by rook to c7, and you can see that now there is no more attack, which leaves this position close to equal. Okay, so in the actual game, after bishop to g4, here Fischer played knight to d6, but instead of moving the knight, here it's better for black to castle alongside, which protects the king from any further threats. Now here you can see that this queen is close to getting trapped, because after takes, you can see that Spassky can simply push this move a4, and you can see that no one can save this queen. And in the actual game here, Spassky played a4, and after this h3. But some of you might be thinking that why after the move a4, after this move, why Fischer didn't capture this queen? After this move, why he didn't capture this queen? So this is because suppose if takes, then after rook takes f1, now you can see that white queen is targeting the rook on h8, and after suppose rook moves, now white can play bishop to h5, targeting this weak f7 square. And if black defends this defends his knight, suppose by knight to b5, which also attacks this queen, which look obvious, but now this is over for black, because white will simply bring his queen to f6, threatening to mate black. And if so here we have two possibilities. Suppose if rook to g7, which is the only move, and after this simply takes, and after suppose bishop takes e6, then simply queen takes e6 check, taking benefit of this pin. And if bishop to e7, rook to e1, and you can see that now this is over for black. And suppose after this move, after d takes e6, if black decides to attack this queen by suppose bishop to e7, then it is also over for black, because Now white will simply takes on f7 with a check, and after king moves, white will simply promote with a check, bishop to e8, and yeah, he can't capture this due to the spin, so remember it. And after bishop to e8, queen takes e8 check, king to c7, and finally queen to b6 checkmate. Okay, so let's go back to our original game. After this move, yeah, f takes g4, here a4 by Spassky and h3 by Fischer. Now I just want you all to pause the video and try to find the final crushing move played by Spassky. In this position, Boris Spassky sacrificed his rook by rook takes e6, and in this position Fischer resigned. This is because suppose if black decides to capture this rook, then after queen takes e6, here you can see that white is creating several threats like targeting this knight as well as threatening to capture this b7 pawn. And suppose if black gives a check from his knight, then after king to g1, now white is threatening to play queen to g8 check, and then to capture this rook. And if black decides to slide his king to f8, guarding this g8 square, this will also not work because simply c takes b7, threatening this rook, and after this rook moves, b takes a6, and you can see that no one in this earth can save black. This is your host Bison signing off. Bye bye.